Liverpool fans, huge breaking updates today. A major Liverpool transfer has reportedly been cancelled. The Reds have received a fresh boost in the race for Bradley Barcola. Florian Wirtz continues to impress. A young Liverpool star has fans buzzing. And Andoni Iraola has delivered the latest update on Jeremy Frimpong after his injury scare against Leeds. Stay until the end because there are plenty of exciting Liverpool transfer stories you don't want to miss. Liverpool transfer cancelled as Andoni Iraola proven right with frustrations after U-turn. Liverpool manager Andoni Iraola has spoken about his dislike for the month of August due to the uncertainty surrounding transfers, and one of his players has changed their mind on a move. Federico Chiesa is set to stay at Liverpool for the 2026-27 season under Andoni Iraola, after reportedly deciding against pursuing a transfer. Chiesa has been a bit-part player during his Liverpool career and had been expected to leave in the summer transfer window. Interest from Serie A and Atletico Madrid and Liverpool's willingness to sell had combined to make a move appear likely. However, the Italian forward has gone on Liverpool's pre-season tour of the United States, where he has decided he wants to stay and fight for his place in the side. Calciomercato says this is something of a U-turn from the 28-year-old. Chiesa has just 5 goals and 5 assists in 50 appearances for Liverpool, following his £10 million move from Juventus 2 years ago. Just 3 of his 34 appearances were starts last season under Arne Slot's management, and a move elsewhere to find more regular game time had been on the cards. But he has 2 years remaining on his contract and has reportedly decided to stick rather than twist. Liverpool spent £35 million to sign Victor Munoz from Osasuna and remain in the market for another winger, with Paris Saint-Germain's Bradley Barcola among the options after the chances of landing RB Leipzig's Jan Diomande receded. It has been a largely frustrating start to the summer transfer window for the Reds, with the departure of Fenway Sports Group chief Michael Edwards complicating things. Iraola was brought in after 3 impressive seasons at Bournemouth to turn around the disappointing drop-off in Slot's second campaign. And while the Spaniard has been working hard in pre-season, he has admitted to frustrations around the uncertainty involved in the transfer window. I particularly hate this month of August because you start the competition, you still don't know if some of the players are going to leave, who is going to come. There is a lot of uncertainty, Iraola told reporters in Chicago. It's difficult to build a proper team with a lot of question marks, but it is what it is. It is the same for all the teams.
It is the same every season, and I particularly enjoy when it's the 1st of September. Done, this is who we are, and we build from here. But we have to deal with this month of August that I think a lot of the coaches, if not all, we don't like it. Liverpool transfer need brutally exposed as Leeds stun Andoni Iraola. 5 talking points. Liverpool 2-4, Leeds United. Daniel Farke's men scored 4 goals in 25 second-half minutes to stun the Reds and win in the Premier League Summer Series on Sunday. Liverpool were left stunned as Leeds United produced a scintillating second-half comeback to come from 2-0 down and beat the Reds 4-2 in the Premier League Super Series. Fresh off the back of beating Sunderland and Championship side Wrexham, Andoni Iraola's side started on the front foot against Leeds and opened the scoring inside the first 7 minutes. Luke Chambers was the goalscorer for the Reds as he smashed home from close range. Although Leeds did have some opportunities, Liverpool controlled most of the first half and ended up doubling their advantage just before the break. Florian Wirtz found the net for Iraola's side as he finished off an excellent team move, tucking the ball home into the corner. Both teams made 4 substitutions at half-time, and it was Leeds who came out as the stronger after the break. Brendan Aronson capitalised on a mistake to pull one back for Daniel Farke's side on the hour mark before Dominic Calvert-Lewin equalised with a finish from inside the box. The comeback was then complete soon after, with Sean Longstaff firing home following some neat play from Aronson. Calvert-Lewin added his second and Leeds' 4th late on to ensure the Whites were crowned as the winners of the 2026 Premier League Summer Series in the United States. Fast Liverpool start. Liverpool scored the first goal in each of their first 2 pre-season friendlies, and that theme continued against Leeds. Chambers, who has come into central defence since Joe Gomez suffered a new muscle injury in the 4-2 win over Sunderland last week, was the man who gave the Reds the lead. Dominic Szoboszlai's outswinging corner was flicked on by Milos Kerkez, and Chambers was there free inside the box to slam home from 8 yards. In truth, it was a smart finish from the 22-year-old, who could have easily got underneath the ball, but he kept his head over it before lashing beyond goalkeeper Alex Cairns. Huge Leeds injury blow. One of Daniel Farke's main wishes going into the fixture against Liverpool would have been to avoid any fresh injuries with 3 weeks to go until the start of the Premier League season. Well, unfortunately for him and the Whites, Gabriel Gudmundsson hobbled off with what looked like a hamstring problem. After going down in the opening stages with a knock, Gudmundsson carried on before being substituted in the 34th minute. The Sweden international went down appearing to hold his hamstring and was treated by the Leeds medical staff before going off and being replaced by Sebastian Bornau. Impressive Wirtz. Following a mixed first season and Liverpool's lack of attacking transfer business so far this summer, it does feel as though there is some pressure on Wirtz to produce in 2026/27. But the German showed in his first appearance back after the World Cup that he can step up and deliver after scoring the Reds' second against Leeds. It was well-worked move by Liverpool as Trey Nyoni's crossfield pass found Jeremy Frimpong, who cut the ball back for Wirtz to sweep home first time from inside the box. With just 7 goals in 49 matches in his debut season at the Reds, Wirtz will be no doubt wanting to improve on that total this term. Liverpool punished for mistake. Although it's much better to iron out mistakes in pre-season, of course, Liverpool won't want to give too many goals like the one Leeds scored against them in Chicago. Milos Kerkez, who endured a difficult first season at the Reds following his move from Bournemouth last summer, gave the ball away inside his own half and Leeds punished them. Ampadu collected the ball and drove at the Liverpool backline before playing in Aronson, and he slotted low past Georgi Mamadashvili. It was a slack piece of play from Kerkez, and he must eradicate them if he wants to be a success at Anfield. Impressive comeback from Leeds. Leeds were much improved after Calvert-Lewin, Aronson, Sean Longstaff and Harry Wilson came on at half-time, and they produced a scintillating comeback to stun Liverpool. After Aronson pulled one back, Calvert-Lewin levelled for the Whites in the 71st minute. A long throw from Ampadu caused chaos in the box, and Joe Rodon's flick-on was hammered home by Calvert-Lewin from close range. Then, just 2 minutes later, the fight-back was complete as Leeds took the lead for the first time in the game. Longstaff was the scorer on this occasion for Leeds as he swivelled inside the area before drilling home. The Whites would go on to score a 4th goal to seal the win, and it came from another long throw. This time it was Bornau who got the flick on, and Calvert-Lewin was there once more to tap home from 4 yards. It was an impressive comeback from Leeds and excellent character after falling 2-0 down and looking like the game was over at half-time. But Farke has instilled some belief into his side, and it was on show in full flow again. Liverpool transfer priorities clear. If it wasn't clear before that Liverpool need to sign some players, it certainly is now. The Reds have got to bring in at least 2, if not 3, ready-made first-team starters before their Premier League opener against Newcastle United. They have been among the quietest clubs in the top flight when it comes to signing players this summer, and it's seen Iraola's squad look threadbare with Ibrahima Konate, Andy Robertson and Mohamed Salah moving on. Jeremy Jacquet and Victor Munoz have come in, but neither have made an appearance for the Reds so far. The Reds are so light in a number of areas, and the one that looked the weakest against Leeds was the centre-back area. While Jacquet is coming in to join Virgil van Dijk and the returning Giovanni Leone, Gomez's latest injury blow should see Iraola's side dip into the market to sign another central defender. That is a must. As well as that, the Reds are lacking a serious right winger following Salah's departure, while it does still feel like they need a new left-back to help Kerkez and a high-profile central midfielder. Liverpool handed Bradley Barcola transfer boost as PSG strike contingency plan. Liverpool's hopes of signing PSG star Bradley Barcola have been boosted after reports suggest the French club are closing in on Ajax forward Mika Götze as his potential replacement. Paris Saint-Germain are reportedly stepping up their efforts to sign Ajax star Mika Götze, which could hand Liverpool a boost to their hopes of signing Bradley Barcola. The Reds have been heavily linked with signing the France international this summer as they look to strengthen their wide forward options before the transfer window closes. Barcola's current deal with PSG is set to expire in the summer of 2028, and it has been widely reported that the 23-year-old does not want to put pen to paper on an extension at the Parc des Princes. There have even been suggestions that Barcola is open to the idea of a move to Anfield, which has given Liverpool encouragement that a deal could be completed. It has been reported previously that Liverpool are expected to hold talks with PSG over a deal to sign Barcola, with the winger apparently valued at around £140 million. That said, separate reports have suggested that Liverpool are optimistic about negotiating a fee closer to £100 million for the France international. A new development from Fabrizio Romano indicates that PSG are preparing to secure Ajax winger Wirtz, with the forward being heavily mentioned as Barcola's replacement. PSG are said to have tabled a €40 million, £34.2 million offer to bring in Wirtz, having already reached agreement on personal terms with the Belgium international. Wirtz predominantly operates on the left wing for Ajax, and should the deal go through, it would probably fuel additional suggestions that Barcola might be heading towards the exit. PSG are also understood to be nearing a deal to bring in Magnus Akliuche from Monaco, which would further fuel the speculation that Barcola could end up departing the League One champions. Liverpool have experienced a quiet transfer window thus far, with just 2 fresh additions to the squad that Andoni Iraola took over from previous head coach Arne Slot. Victor Munoz was brought in by Liverpool at the beginning of the summer transfer window, with the Reds agreeing to trigger the £34.5 million release clause in the Spain international's contract at Osasuna. Liverpool also secured a £60 million deal to sign Jeremy Jacquet from Rennes back in February, with the defender officially joining Anfield this summer, but has yet to feature during pre-season. Liverpool transfer need proven again as Florian Wirtz shows promise. 5 talking points versus Leeds. Liverpool was beaten by Leeds United in Chicago, with Luke Chambers and Florian Wirtz on the scoresheet. This is what we spotted with plenty of first-half positives. Andoni Iraola suffered his first defeat as Liverpool head coach, as his side let a 2-goal lead slip against Leeds in Chicago. Liverpool moved in front in the contest after just 7 minutes when Luke Chambers slammed the ball home from close range after a corner was flicked on by Milos Kerkez. Florian Wirtz doubled the scoreline late in the half after a team move saw Jeremy Frimpong tee him up for a volley with a good cross. In the second half, with both sides having made changes, Brendan Aronson pulled a goal back for Leeds, Dominic Calvert-Lewin levelled, Sean Longstaff got the winner and Calvert-Lewin got a second. Here are the 5 things Liverpool.com spotted as the game unfolded. Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz returned. Alexander Isak and Florian Wirtz were both making their first appearances under Andoni Iraola, and it was evident that they were very much operating as a pair. Both looked sharp in the 45 minutes that they played, and they worked in tandem to press relentlessly, pushing up together to put the pressure on the Leeds backline. There were some nice touches, though the pretty awful state of the turf didn't help, but nothing that major to write home about in terms of chances created or shots taken. For a starting point in pre-season, though, it was a decent enough beginning. They will both be in the starting 11, assuming they are fit, when Liverpool takes to the field at St James's Park in 3 weeks. Milos Kerkez and Jeremy Frimpong show promise. One key element of Iraola's Bournemouth team was the flying fullbacks. Kerkez, as a former Cherries man, had an advantage coming into the summer as someone who knew the system already, while Frimpong looks perfectly suited. Here, while both started fairly quietly, they did begin to show what they can do. Kerkez was lively down the left, promisingly working well with Rio Ngamoha until he was taken off, and Frimpong grew in prominence, resulting in him assisting Wirtz's goal. There are doubts about the level of Kostas Tsimikas, who was out on loan at AS Roma last term, and there is basically no one else to play where Frimpong does right now. It was a good job then that the starting pair looked up to speed and growing in both influence and confidence. They will almost certainly start the season in the team and looked promising here, though Frimpong went off on 75 minutes when his fitness waned. Trey Nyoni sensational again. Trey Nyoni was bossing things in the middle of the pitch, snapping into tackles thanks to his strong anticipation and then finding passes effortlessly. Everything just looks so easy and fluid for the Liverpool number 42, who could really play a big part in the coming campaign. Clearly he is ready, and he showed it against a good Premier League side here. Dominic Szoboszlai was pretty good, and Curtis Jones likewise, but it was Nyoni who could be the most pleased with his outing. It isn't the first time this summer that has been the case. Nyoni has everything you need to be a success at the top level, and with every passing test, he seems to come through with flying colours. At the very least, he should be considered a regular option off the bench when the real stuff starts, and maybe more. Luke Chambers. Strong defensive duo. Chambers and Ifeanyi Ndukwe have both impressed so far this summer at centre-back, even though the former would rather play at left-back. Facing their biggest challenge to date, a Leeds attack with plenty of pace and experience, the young duo certainly didn't look out of place when they had full energy levels, with Chambers even getting his name on the score sheet. There are things to work on, positioning at times, and sometimes challenges in the air, but that is only natural. They are only young, and that extra physicality will come. For now, the only real drawback looking ahead to the new season is that Ndukwe doesn't have a work permit and Chambers is left-footed when Liverpool needs someone on the right. Aside from that, both have played well enough to earn recognition. The second half collapse came when Ndukwe tired and Chambers had gone off. This was something to build on. Liverpool depth problem clear. With the US tour now over, Liverpool will head back to Merseyside. It has a game at Anfield on each of the next 2 weekends, AS Monaco and then Como, before the proper stuff starts at Newcastle. Isak, Wirtz and Gravenberch coming back into the fold made the team look a lot stronger on paper, and next week Virgil van Dijk and Cody Gakpo will be joined by the rest of their teammates. Victor Munoz and Alisson Becker will also be back at the AXA Training Centre, which will then leave only Alexis McAllister to return from his holidays, and Jeremy Jacquet's injury should clear up soon. Transfers-wise, there is plenty still to be done, however, as the second half turnaround when the second string played proved. Bradley Barcola and a defender are a must, with questions to be answered on others like Curtis Jones as well. Isak looked sharp, but he can't play every minute, and there was a huge difference when Federico Chiesa took his place. This, though, was another step in the right direction on the field in the first half at least. 3 weeks to go. Liverpool youngster gets fans excited after magic moment unlocks Florian Wirtz. Liverpool youngster Trey Nyoni gets fans excited after a magic moment unlocks Florian Wirtz, with the latter scoring an impressive goal thanks to the former making an opportunity happen. Trey Nyoni has fans excited as they watch the youngster show out during pre-season. Liverpool's friendly clash against Leeds in Chicago went well for a portion of the match, with Luke Chambers putting the Reds up 1-0 inside of 10 minutes. Roughly 33 minutes later, Florian Wirtz added another goal, giving Liverpool a 2-0 lead heading into half-time. And while Wirtz's goal was impressive in its own right, blasting a shot just past the outstretched arms of Alex Cairns, it was the sequence leading up to that moment and Nyoni's involvement which has fans celebrating the youngster as he continues to show his ability before the season. Alexander Isak began in the box and passed the ball back out to Wirtz, who then tapped it back to Nyoni. Surveying the box, the 19-year-old fired a pass to Jeremy Frimpong, who using his right leg swung the ball back into the box just inches away from the penalty marker. Wirtz was there to receive the pass, blasting the ball into the back of the net past Cairns' hands. Fans were stunned to see Nyoni's pass, with one supporter on X writing, "Trey Nyoni, are you mad?" Another added, "What a f***ing goal that is. Rodri-esque pass from Nyoni." A third claimed that the 19-year-old has been one of the big success stories of this tour for Liverpool. Really impressive in all 3 games, the Post read. A fourth wrote, "That pass from Trey Nyoni is impeccable. His passing range is very impressive. Probably the player who has caught my eye in pre-season the most." Despite Nyoni's impressive play against Leeds and in the pre-season overall, Liverpool couldn't maintain the pressure, falling 4-1 after conceding to Brendan Aronson, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Sean Longstaff. Calvert-Lewin notched a brace, scoring the match-sealing goal in the 85th minute. Nyoni's performances coincide with head coach Andoni Iraola heaping praise upon the youngster, claiming the 19-year-old was so good. After Liverpool's 1-0 win over Wrexham, the Liverpool boss spoke highly of the star, telling reporters at the time, "Trey is very good on the ball, very calm. He reads the situations well. We're forcing him in the work without the ball, in the press, and he is absolutely doing very well. I think the timings of the jumps are very good. He is always confident on the ball, so we encourage him. Sometimes, even if he loses the ball, try to find the number 10, try to find the number 9, even balls in behind, look a little bit further, because he can do it, because he is so good." Iraola added that he and his staff are expecting more from Nyoni as he continues to develop with the club and as a player as a whole. At the end, he is a midfielder who, I always say, you have to ask for the ball sometimes with pressure, and he doesn't feel this pressure, Iraola continued. Even when he has one opponent quite close, he asks for that ball, and he's confident. He doesn't rush. For me, that is very valuable. Andoni Iraola offers Jeremy Frimpong update after Liverpool ace limped off versus Leeds. Liverpool head coach Andoni Iraola has played down fears that Jeremy Frimpong could become the latest Reds defender to require a spell on the treatment table this summer. Jeremy Frimpong limped off as Liverpool fell to a 4-2 defeat against Leeds in Chicago, but Reds boss Andoni Iraola is confident that the Dutchman is not set for a spell on the sidelines. Exiting the field with around 15 minutes to play, Frimpong didn't look overly concerned as he was replaced by Callum Scanlon. He had a brief conversation with Iraola on the touchline before taking his place on the bench, and the Spaniard has offered an update on Frimpong, believing that the Liverpool number 30 was simply tired from the running that he has been doing this summer in pre-season. Jeremy asked for the sub. "I don't think it is an injury," Iraola told LFC TV. "I think it was just an overload, and I think he is not injured. In that way, I don't think we have lost anyone." Already this summer, Liverpool has seen Joe Gomez pull up with an injury that will keep him out for around a month. Giovanni Leoni and Stefan Bajcetic are working their way back from long-term issues, while new signing Jeremy Jacquet is yet to feature in any games as he is being carefully managed. Connor Bradley and Hugo Ekitike will still be out for months yet, while Wataru Endo returned to training a few days ago after the issue that kept him out of the World Cup. Despite the lengthy injury list, Iraola was pleased with how the pre-season tour to the US unfolded. He and his players will now return to Merseyside for the next phase.